8 months after the state of Nevada suffered that massive cyber attack, causing issues across a number of government agencies, UNLV has now set its sights on training students to monitor future potential threats. Last month, the university established the Nevada Institute of Cybersecurity, or NIC. The goal is training the next generation of IT professionals. It also acts as a hub to serve state, industries, and government offices, helping them secure their data. That would be the role of a statewide security operations center. It would provide 24/7 threat monitoring for agencies all across the state. Back in August, that's when the cyber attack knocked out most of the state's infrastructure offline. It caused delays in processing issues, especially at places like the DMV, law enforcement, social services, even domestic violence shelters. It took a month for the state to fully recover and bring everything back online. In the aftermath, Nevada lawmakers passed a bill during the special session to create a new cybersecurity framework, preventing something like this from happening again.
We continue to keep an eye on